Hi everyone, I'm Laura Hendrickson, the Registrar and Collections Manager here at the National Quilt Museum. As you know, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. We opened our doors on April 25th of 1991, and we're finding a lot of ways to celebrate throughout the year. One of the ways is that we have invited one of our longest serving volunteers and a Paducah ambassador, Sue Tharp, to reflect with us about her time here and how she got started here at the museum and how it's been for her over the years. Hi Sue, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So to start with, can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the museum in the very beginning?
In the very beginning, I got involved with Paducah Ambassadors. Our mayor at that time, Jerry Montgomery, had started the ambassadors, and I became one in 1990. And so it was lucky. This was one of the first things that I got to do, was come to the museum, and they asked ambassadors at that time to be volunteers, and we got to count our time that we volunteered here as our time towards ambassador volunteering. So,
okay. Those of you who have been to the museum have probably seen this in our lobby. This is a photograph from our opening day ceremony. And Sue, you were in this photograph, right?
Yes, I am right here. 30 years ago, 30 pounds lighter, right there.
So what do you remember from that day?
Oh, it was so much fun. We were so excited to have the museum open, and the garden club had planted all those flowers that was like a patchwork quilt, and the balloons were so beautiful, and we had a big ceremony. The tourism's cabinet person was here from Frankfurt, and just a great crowd and a lot of enthusiastic quilters and non-quilters.
That's fantastic. And are you a quilter yourself?
I quilt a little bit.
Okay.
But not like the quilts here.
Well, yeah, we could all
just
dream.
normal quilts.
Yeah. So what was it like when the museum first opened? I think a lot of people didn't expect for a quilt museum to be here in Paducah.
No, I don't think they did, and they were excited. We had pretty good crowds, and of course then when the first quilt shows started, that we started getting big crowds, and it slowly built, and now there's just lots of people who come and are so excited to come in the museum and see all the beautiful quilts. It was just really an exciting time. I think the first exhibit, all of the ambassadors went in and helped guard the quilts after the ceremony got over with. And I was in the gallery over on the right, and it was the color orange at that time, and I think it was curated by Pilgrim and Roy, and it was really a pretty exhibit of old antique quilts that were orange and white.
Wow. And with 30 years of exhibits, we've had a lot of quilts in the building. Are there any exhibits that you remember that are kind of your favorites from the past?
Oh my goodness, yes. One of my favorites was this lady from Nebraska had these little bitty doll beds, and the whole gallery was just full of these little doll beds, and she had made quilts for every single doll bed. She had collected them, and they were so cute. And that was one of my favorites. And then we had one I can't even think of what it was called. Kaleidoscope, that's it, the Kaleidoscope. I think it was actually one of the new quilts from an old favorite display. And it was Kaleidoscope quilts, and so they had all these beautiful quilts that looked like kaleidoscopes, and then they had antique kaleidoscopes, and then they had these actual kaleidoscopes where people could come in and look through them, and it was so exciting because people just loved looking through them. And
I did not know that. That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about things that we did not know, of course we have this photo everyone can see about our opening day, but I did want to pull out one of the things from our archives. So this is a pair of commemorative scissors from opening day, so I don't know if this is something you were aware that we had, but this is in our archive, so it's not something that the public can see all the time, but we wanted to bring it out to kind of show for this video and to give you a sneak peek and our visitors a sneak peek of some of the things that we have related to our history.
That's neat.
So going back to all of these favorite quilts and everything, aside from all of the fantastic art that we have here, what about being part of the museum keeps you coming back?
Oh, I just love it. The people here are so friendly and nice, and then of course all the guests who come in are also excited. They just can't wait to come in and see the quilts, and you meet so many people from all over the world. Just a couple weeks ago, I was talking to this couple. They were from Moline, Illinois, and I said, "Oh, I have relatives there," and they said, "Oh, well, I worked at John Deere. I retired." And I said, "My uncle did too. Do you know him?" And I told his name. he went, oh my gosh, I worked with them for 40 years. So it was just so fun to talk to them then, and they had known my aunt and uncle. And then just a couple weeks ago too, I met a guy who actually built the museum. He was here, he was one of the contractors. And
no kidding.
he was 86 years old, and he said he put the gravel down, and he said they put a big foot of gravel to make sure that it didn't crack in here. So yeah, he wanted to make sure the foundation was really good. So he was lovely to talk to also. And just fun people to talk to from all over the world, and sometimes you know they walk in and you start talking to them and they don't even know English and they're from France or they're from Japan or someplace, and so you kind of sometimes have a little communication gap, but
but the art speaks for itself.
It does. So when they see the art, it's like, oh wow, you know. So yeah.
Well, we're always growing, we're always expanding our reach around the world. As you know, we're an international destination, and we are constantly looking for ways that we can bring quilting to more audiences all around the world, whether it's in person here in the museum or digitally, online.
I think you all just do a great job. You just do a fabulous job here, and the exhibits are always changing. Every 3 or 4 months there's something different, and then of course the middle gallery with the museum's quilts are always changing. You always see something different every time you come back, so that's always exciting to keep people coming back. And I tell people when they're driving on the interstate, oh, we've been driving past here for years and just never stopped, and now we stopped. And I said, well, come back in 3 or 4 months and you'll see something completely different. So they go, okay, we'll do it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, we absolutely could not do what we do without the volunteers, without the docents, and the people like you who are not only committed but enthusiastically committed. You love quilting as much as we love quilting, as much as our visitors love quilting. So you know, you help keep us, you know, running and giving that fantastic experience that we give every day.
Well, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us. It's been great to talk to you and look back on your time here with the National Quilt Museum.
Well, thank you.